Today I'm soloing tower defense X with every single tower. There will be 3 rules. I'll be using any map I want. I will have only 1 tower slot filled, and I'll be only playing in intermediate mode. By the way, this challenge doesn't really reflect how good the tower is. It's just fun. And now time for the useless and last tower. With all these zombie pluses trying to reach to the cave, the EDJ can't really do much since she doesn't do any damage. But then I had this brilliant idea. I would just skip the waves as fast as possible and then just hope for the best. As my health started to plummet, it was the end for EDJ, ending at wave 7. This puts the EDJ at first place for now. You see, I tried placing a few farms to see if it does damage. Yeah, turns out it doesn't. Surprise. So we did the same strat where we just skip as many waves as we can, and my health started plummeting and we end our run on wave 7. That means farm now shares first with EDJ. So we finally now have a tower that can actually shoot at zombies. I accidentally leaked like some zombies on wave 5 because, you know, I'm just so good at this game. The Ice Rangers dealt with the stealth zombies really well, but there was one problem. They do no damage to multipliers. So here's an accurate representation, basically what happened once the multiplier came. So the multiplier had 20 health, but I had 21 left, so all is good. Cryo Rangers are actually really good for armored zombies. I didn't think she'll do good against them, but you know, cool. Then this happened. Yeah, we couldn't deal with the multiplier, so we end Cryo Ranger's run with wave 16. This puts the EDJ and Farmer in second, and now Cryo Ranger is in first. Now we have the Ranger, which I thought would do really bad, but it actually did a lot better than I expected. Like, I thought the Ranger would be like this, but it was more like... look at these Rangers mowing down these zombies. At first they did leak a little, but once I started upgrading these Rangers, they didn't really leak a lot. They also got all the way to the Predator wave. I was actually really surprised to see the Ranger to make it all the way to Predator wave. The top path Rangers aren't too bad. They have a total of 90 DPS, and the bottom path Rangers could clear up all the zombies right behind the Predator. To be honest, trying to kill this Predator, I wasted so much money using all those Rangers as bait and having my Rangers kept dying because, you know, my micro wasn't the best at the time. And I think I sold a couple of max level Rangers at the front just to supply the amount of money to finally kill this Predator. Around here you can see me frantically try to sell some Rangers so I could actually kill the Predator so I wouldn't die from it leaking 46 HP. Then Abominations come and the Rangers couldn't really handle the speed and high health, ending the Rangers run on wave 34. This puts the Ranger in first, Cryo Ranger in second, and the Farming EDJ in third. Yeah, remember when I said I thought the Ranger was trash? But I knew the Shotgunner was trash, like 100%. At least he does decent against armored zombies, but for the rest, he was struggling a little bit, so I had to put Shotgunners in the back to defend. Then there was these 2 Revive Titans. I had way too much HP for the Shotgunner to handle. That ends our run on wave 25. The EDJ and Farm actually got put where they belong, and the Cryo Ranger moves to third, and the Ranger stays at first, and now the Shotgunner is second. Hey guys, if you made it this far, make sure you pay your fee of 1 like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Now let's go to the next tower. Wait, you still didn't hit the like button yet. Now we have the Operator. The Operator is like the Ranger, but just even better. But there's one problem. He can't deal with armor zombies. But he can. Like, look at them go. These Humvees will absolutely destroy these armored zombies' HP. The Operators did really good against the Predator wave. Like, look all these Humvees coming out of nowhere to absolutely destroy the Predator. And that's the end of the Predator wave. Now it's time to go against the Eradicator, the very first tower to go against it in this challenge. I had this whole army in the background waiting for the Eradicator. The Operators were doing a lot of DPS to the Eradicator, but the Eradicator just kept killing them. There was so much Operators in the background, we cut half of his health in the back and it stunned all my towers. And just like that, the Eradicator is dead, and this is the first tower to be intermediate by itself. The podium's now changing, Operator is now first and everyone else is shifted down. With each zombie plus having over 12 HP and the Mine Layer only doing 20 damage per mine, there's not really much of a future for Mine Layer in this challenge. So with the rest of Mine Layer's run, it was just me trying to stall as long as possible. And the Mine Layer ends on wave 8. Since the Mine Layer didn't do too well, everyone stays in the same spot. So now we have the sniper. With the sniper having a slow fire rate and not be able to one-shot the zombies immediately, we leaked a few zombies in the beginning. But it was okay, because once we got stronger, not even the armored zombies could get through. I decided just to put a lot of snipers on top of that hill, and not even the monster was that much of a problem. Now it's time for the predator wave. The predator wave wasn't really too hard with the sniper's huge range and decent DPS, so we kind of beat this wave quite easily. And before the Eradicator wave, I decided just to keep building my army before he comes. And now it's time for the Eradicator wave. This run is quite easy on an Eradicator wave since the sniper is just such a good tower, especially on that hill. And that ends our run with sniper beating the challenge. The sniper now takes first place and the operator is second, and the ranger now takes third and kicking out the shotgunner off the podium. The Cryo Blaster is one of those damageless towers that just don't do damage until a certain level, but we won't have enough money by then. That means there's only one thing left to do. We just stall as long as we can and hope for the best. Oh, well, Cryo Blaster gets wave 8, and that means the podium doesn't really change, so time for the next tower. The missile trooper is on the more expensive side, so I had to wait until wave 3 until I could finally place him. The missile trooper does a lot of damage, but there's a problem. He attacks a little too slow for all these zombies. Like as you can see, he does an amazing 40 damage, but he shoots like every 6.5 seconds. I kept trying to upgrade him so he shoots faster, but it wasn't enough, so we end our run on wave 5. The podium stays the same once again. The patrol boat did a really good job clearing the earlier waves, but there was a problem. The patrol boat can't really see stealth units. To prevent this from being a problem, I tried to get the flamethrower as fast as possible so the flamethrower could hit the normal zombies next to the stealth zombies. But that didn't quite work out since the stealth zombies were just way too fast. The stealth zombies ended up killing us, ending our run on wave 13. The podium stays the same once again. Since now you can place it up to 7 barracks, solo mode barracks is now actually pretty good. So for the beginning, I only placed all 0-0 barracks to get all 7 barracks down first. Just look at all these little soldiers shooting at the zombies. The barracks were able to deal with the armored zombies, especially with the M202 trooper. And another great thing about the barracks in this map is how they would cluster next to the spawn to shoot zombies that just came out. This is just another angle to show how the soldiers would just stay next to the spawn while shooting at the enemy. The predator wave was actually quite easy with all these rail troopers and all these flamethrowers just gathering in the middle, just shooting him again and again, dealing so much DPS. And also we have these riders that will come here and there to also deal additional damage. The predator gets easily destroyed with all these troops, and you can see all of them just gather in the middle, which is just crazy. Now it's the Eradicator wave, and I switch also top path to get as much DPS for a single target as possible. Here you can see all the rail troopers just gathering up and shooting the Eradicator again and again and again. But it turns out it was just not enough. Even with the barracks buff for the top path, we're ending our run on wave 35. Now Ranger is stepping down from the podium and the barracks take third. Now we have the Grenadier. The Grenadier is pretty good in the earlier waves, clearing out the waves pretty easily. I was a little worried on how well it would do against single target enemies with high HP, but it turns out it wasn't even too bad. The Predator wave wasn't too bad. All the zombies that spawned with the Predator wasn't much of a problem, but with the Predator's 35,000 HP, I had to put Grenadiers in the back to finish him off. But he just kept killing my Grenadiers again and again, so I had to put baits, and that wasted a lot of money. As you can see here, I had to sell some max level Grenadiers in the front. And then right here, it was really close. Only 1,000 HP left. But we end up taking it with it having it 14 HP left. The stealth chargers were a great threat since the shot Grenadiers could not see them. So we had to just rely on the top path Grenadiers to do enough DPS by the time. But there was a problem. The revive abominations were just too fast and had way too much HP. The revive abomination ends up killing us, ending our run on wave 33. The podium does not change at all this time. Now we have John, but there's a big problem with this tower for this challenge. He can't really see hiddens, so it's kind of over for this tower. John was doing pretty well once we got into the AK shotgun level, but then the hidden wave came in wave 11, which will cause us to end our run on wave 13. The podium doesn't change at all once again. Yeah, even after the buff, the artillery is still a little expensive. But once I was able to place him down, it didn't really matter too much. His attacks did a lot of damage, but it was just way too slow. I tried my best clearing up all the zombies, but it was just way too much. So all the zombies leaked through and we end our run on wave 6. And the podium stays the same once again. You might be wondering, Ethan, isn't one of your rules is to only use one tower slot? Well, yeah, but like I kind of want to save some of my time because the Juggernaut and Railgunner is way too expensive for early game. So they kind of just like end the run by the time we have enough money to buy them. So we end our run on wave 7 and the podium stays the same. The armored factory is like barracks, but spawns vehicles like Humvees and tanks. I focus on placing all 6 armored factories first, cause the level 0 Humvee is honestly not too bad with its 70 HP and the little minigun it has on its back. What really carried this game is once we got the MRAP. The MRAP had over 1000 HP and would almost wipe any zombie in its way. Like just look at this, super heavy zombie gone just because the MRAP just ran over it. As you can see here, the armor factory easily dealt with waves since they had a huge range that would easily take out enemies even if they were on the opposite side of the map. Here we had the level 4 Humvee with the missile turret. It shoots a volley of missiles, easily dealing with armored zombies. And this is the M1 Abrams. It has stealth detection and it does a massive amount of damage and has 3,500 health. Like that's crazy. 3,500 health for just one unit from the armored factory. Now it's time for the Predator wave. Honestly, it wasn't even too bad. With all these vehicles doing a massive amount of damage and its HP of the vehicle just ramming into the Predator, it dealt with this wave quite easily. Now it's the Eradicator wave. The actual armor factory would distract the Eradicator, so the Eradicator would shoot the armor factory and standing still, which will cause it to waste more time. With all the tanks finally spawning in for the last ditch effort, the Eradicator barely beats the armor factory, ending our run on wave 35. The barracks gets kicked out of 3rd and the armor factory takes its spot and everyone else stays the same. The Toxicanator couldn't be placed out until wave 2, so I frantically placed him down on top of that little hill to finally clear out the wave 1 zombies. Even with the recent nerf of the making the Toxicanator can only hit a certain amount of enemies, it was still pretty good for the early game. But there was one problem. He can't see any hidden zombies. And because of that, we end our run on wave 11. The whole podium stays the same. The laser gunner is a pretty well-rounded tower, being able to see stealth really early on, being able to have armor pierce, and doing a decent amount of DPS by itself. For the first like 15 waves, I just focused upgrading one laser gunner to slowly get more DPS. The laser gunners did a really good job clearing the nuclear zombies, but had a hard time clearing all these multiply boss zombies, but we still passed the wave. With the dual SMGs doing over 210 DPS, it dealt with the monster pretty easily. Now it's time for the Predator wave. The Predator wave was much more of a struggle than I thought it would be. But to be honest, I think it was my fault because I placed a lot of the minigunners instead of the dual SMGs, which probably lowered the overall DPS against the Predator. But also the baits were really expensive. It was like 925 a piece, bro. Like that's like $1,000 for just like one shot. But we still beat the Predator, placing some laser gunners in the back to finally finish him off. The laser gunners dealt with the waves 31 and 234 pretty easily. Now it's time for the Eradicator wave. And oh my goodness, I thought the Predator wave was a struggle, but no, the Eradicator wave was so hard for no reason with laser gunner. Like just for some reason they were just shooting marshmallows at him. I sold some of the max level laser gunners at the front so I could afford for some laser gunners in the back to like chip some more damage while he approaches to the end. But as you can see, I just kept selling laser gunners and repositioning to different spots to keep doing damage to Eradicator. But look at this man's range, bro. Holy, this laser gunner's range is huge, which definitely helped us during this run. With the Eradicator having only 13,000 health left and me being Barrack, I was just praying that the laser gunners would dish out enough damage to kill the Eradicator. And thank goodness it beats the Eradicator, completing the challenge. The laser gunner takes 3rd from armor factory, the operator is 2nd, and the sniper wins 1st in this challenge. Holy, this video took so long to make, like 60 hours at least, and I want to thank anyone who watched it to the very end. I'm very grateful for you, and if you want to see more longer form content, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.